Lesson 1, Question 1. Research on the universality of facial expressions suggests that the socialization of affect involves interactions between situational variables and a finite repertoire of human emotions, whose meanings are at least roughly synonymous among all members of the species. At the same time, Izard's formulation of effective cognitive structures shows that emotions are in reality not separable from the particular circumstances that are associated with them. The fact that it is possible to construct a list of basic, universally recognizable emotions derives not only from a species-specific repertoire of facial expressions, but perhaps more fundamentally from a larger set of human expressive behaviors, including laughter and crying, as well as bodily movements and postures. These behaviors, for which a universal capacity exists, are also, without exception, carried out in particular circumstances. As elements in the human communicative function, they create the necessity of response from the environment while also being shaped by it. To use Lewis's terms, the contextual reality of emotional expression transforms state into experience. Lesson 1, Question 2. Changes are often useful. People want to see new emails, better search results, and new news, stories, but they can disrupt the user's ability to re-find information. As an example, dynamic menus were developed to help people access menu items faster by bubbling common items to the top of the menu. Rather than decreasing access time, research revealed dynamic menus actually slow their users down, because commonly sought items no longer appear where expected. As another example, some researchers tried to help people search better by giving them lists of relevant sentences that were dynamically re-ranked, based on implicit feedback gathered during the search process. To the researchers' surprise, people did not enjoy the search experience as much or perform as well as they did when the sentence list was static. Similarly, a large-scale analysis of query logs revealed that when people repeat queries, they are significantly less likely to click on a result they've clicked before. If the results rank has changed, and significantly slower to click when they do. Lesson 1, Question 3. Verbal metaphors help make our language more colorful and expressive. They influence how we think about something, but they do not change the thing itself. Interface metaphors play a more fundamental role in how we experience and interact with the technological world, affecting function as well as feeling. The metaphor that is chosen for an interface shapes how it can be used. When we put computer files into folders, these metaphoric constructs help us think about the way information is organized in our machine, but they also constrain what we can do with it. Interface metaphors also influence the feel of the experience, the emotional and aesthetic response we have to our interactions with and via the machine. The desktop metaphor calls to mind office work secretaries, bosses, quarterly plans, and cubicles. It was developed in the late 1970s and early 1980s, when office work was seen as the primary use for personal computers. The desktop image certainly is appropriate for that setting. However, it is less appropriate when we use the computer as an entertainment center or as the locus of our social life. Interface metaphors need to fit both the feel and function of the application. Lesson 1, Question 4. Many news media studies use experimental designs to see whether citizens' opinions are influenced by different news content. For example, in one study, researchers created newspaper stories to frame the death penalty in different ways. One story constructed the death penalty as an affront to moral values, the morality frame, whereas another story emphasized that the policy was fundamentally flawed, because innocent people might be executed, the innocence frame. Some subjects read the story with the morality frame, and others read the one with the innocence frame. Subjects then completed a questionnaire that asked them to list the important factors they considered when determining their opinion on the death penalty. It was found that subjects exposed to the innocence frame were more likely to mention innocence-related considerations as important factors in determining their attitudes toward the death penalty than subjects presented with the morality frame. Thus, the news frames shape the ingredients of the subject's death penalty attitudes. Lesson 1, Question 5. The knowledge problem is most evident when we discuss our ability to predict that which has not yet been observed. Most people would say that they know the sun will rise tomorrow. However, can we call this a certainty? It seems very likely, but it has also been predicted that the time will come when the sun runs out of fuel, swells massively, and consumes the earth. We don't know if this prediction is true, but it is consistent with our best understanding, and we cannot rule it out. It is also possible that the earth will explode due to some internal process with its molten core which we had not anticipated. A massive comet that our telescopes have not observed may crash into the earth and destroy the planet. These examples seem a bit extreme, but consider the 230,000 people who died in the tsunami in Sumatra in 2004, which resulted from an undersea megathrust earthquake that had not been anticipated. The most reasonable prediction on that day was that it would be an average day, like so many days before it. Not that a massive wave was going to destroy many thousands of lives. Tragically, such was the case. 몰텐 코르 용융 핵지구의 외핵 메가트러스트 거대 충상 단층. Lesson 1, Question 6. Accepting or being at peace with things isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and a fair dose of courage. True acceptance isn't about trying to make something go away, as in, if I accept this, then it will go away. That's a good way to get dispirited when the problem, the thing, doesn't go away. Using acceptance to make something go away is actually non-acceptance, masquerading as acceptance in order to get rid of that towards which you have a negative attitude. Rather than getting dispirited, we would be better to notice what happens when we fight with a situation or experience. It escalates. We could then wonder what would happen if we stopped fighting with it. Through true acceptance, the impact of such experiences starts to diminish, and in their own time, these experiences impact us less often. It's as if we've been visited by a stray dog that keeps coming back because we keep feeding it, but soon it loses interest and goes away when it is not being fed. Attention is the food that keeps it coming back.